Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Firmundis. Care to hear the story?
Go ahead. Get it out of your system.
Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
There's nothing like war for covering one's escape.
I had no intention of escaping. That time. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
Were you with these Fog Warriors willingly?
I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them, so I did. I killed them all.
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Daenerys then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
This can't be easy to talk about.
I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. You and I don't always agree, but...
Too much wine will make anyone chatty.
Let's just say you've earned my respect. A last toast, then. To the fallen.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
Hope the day is treating you well, Sirah.
Hawke. I don't care what else is going on. We haven't spoken about Liandra. How are you?
My mother is dead. My heart's broken.
I suppose I could say, at least you knew yours. But that seems more about me than you. I just have flashes of and possibly long hair. But my father... Would you like to hear one thing?
You've never talked about him.
My father trained me in all the skills he had been forced to give up. He spent everything to get me into Cailan's service. Do you know what I remember? When he read to me. Stupid things, dragons and heroes. He wouldn't turn a page until I reached over and took his hand. That big man made every step of the story my choice. I loved that. He died of the wasting in Adeniram Ward. Those last weeks, I read to him. I had to take his hand to turn the pages, and I couldn't tell if he was too weak, or if it was the old game. He smiled at that, at his big girl. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Drink?
A glass for those we've lost.
All right then. Benoit Dulac and Leandra Hawke. Don't let anyone tell you when to move on. Take their hand and say, my choice. That's all I have. I'll miss her too.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
It is apparently not enough that the Qunari define my political life. They must also infect what I hold personal. It is my son, Seamus. The life you saved, he would now squander by converting to the Khun. He has left for the Qunari compound. Please, Sarah Hawke, convince Seamus to come home.
The Arishok says nothing good about Kirkwall, yet he accepts conversions.
I cannot understand him. Maker knows I've tried, but he landed with, what, a few hundred men? Add up the deaths and defections, and the Arishok must need to bolster his ranks. I'm sure my son is quite the symbolic prize.
Did anyone else see him leaving for the compound?
He made no secret of it. I'm sure he intended it as another of his statements about closer relations. Your example inspired him. I might agree, but now is not the time. These matters are delicate.
He's politically dangerous, you mean?
The office must remain strong, Sarah Hawke.
He is of age. The decision seems rightly his.
I want to let him find his way, but in my position, he's taken a great deal of inspiration from you. I want to allow his idealism, but not blindly. At best, my opponents will claim that my office is now in Qunari hands. At worst, I lose my son.
You know this will only end in trouble.
Fitting. That's where it started. My son is not foolish. He will listen to reason, and you are in the best position to offer that opportunity. Please, do what you can.
So your tranquil solution was hardly the Holocaust you imagined.
You've been seeking revenge for the death of one family for as long as I've known you. Are you honestly judging me for trying to save the lives of every mage in Thedas?
But they were never threatened. It was a single man's lunacy. The Chantry would never follow through with such a thing.
Yet.
Excuse me.
Right, next to target! Never take the contract!
So who hired that lot? Anti-Canary? Anti-Viscount? Or Seamus himself not wanting to be rescued?
Seamus isn't the type. Let's go.
You go on ahead. I have another appointment.
Well, hope the Arishok hasn't grown attached to the Viscount's boy.
What do you want, human?
I'm here about the Viscount's son.
Are you? In 4 years, I have made no threat, and fanatics have lined up to hate us simply because we exist. But despite lies and fear, Baz still beg me to let them come to the Qun. They hunger for purpose. The son has made a choice. You will not deny him that.
No doubt you see the advantage of having the Viscount's son at arm's reach.
He is no longer the Viscount's son. Vidithari give up their lives for the certainty only Qunari know.
You would not take advantage of his connections.
The Qun may demand that advantage, but I do not. It was his choice to be educated. He is not my prisoner. He is not even here. He went to his father. Ask the Viscount why he would send you and a letter both.
That seems strange.
They are meeting at the Chantry. A last pointless appeal, I assume.
The Viscount has not tried to involve the Chantry before.
No, but we know who would. Mother Patrice.
A suspect in many things. If she has threatened someone under my command again, there is only one response.
Don't make things worse by marching your men through the streets without cause.
This is cause. I will not trust it to you alone. Not with your secrets. I will be watching. The Dethari are of the Qun. This offense will have an answer.
Do you ever have any regrets?
About what?
Anything? Everything? I can't figure you out.
The past's past. I learned that young. If it can't bring you gold or giggles, what's the point in dwelling on it?
Maybe the chance to fix a mistake? Make things right again?
Hey? Our mistakes make us who we are.
That was almost profound.
Best outside of Orzammar.
Serah Hawke. Look at what you have done. To pounce upon the Viscount's son, a repentant convert in the Chantry itself. A crime with no excuse. Your Qunari masters will finally answer.
You've been a headache, but to outright kill someone, that's new for you.
He deliberately denied the Maker. How many would follow if he went unpunished? And yet, even this sympathizer will inspire vengeance when his brutal murder is exposed.
Great plan. Until people start dying in a war with the Qunari.
To die untested would be the real crime. People need the opportunity to defend faith, starting with you. Earn your reward in this life and next. These heretics must die!
Someone needs to too slow!
I'll show you my name! Go down! Come back here!
Do you see, Your Grace? Traitors attacking the very core of the Chantry. They defile with every step.
There is death in every corner, young mother. It is as you predicted. All too well.
Forgive me, Your Grace, but you must know the truth about what happened here.
Don't you spout your Qunari filth. This is a hand of the Divine.
I have ears, Mother Patrice. The Maker would have me use them. Serah Hawke, is it?
Viscount Dumas' son is dead. Killed here in your name.
I'm sure my name won't like that. Patrice?
Seamus Dumas was a Qunari convert. He came here to repent and was murdered.
Love or hate the Qunari, a blind nug could see she took this too far.
No price is too much when we speak of eternity.
Eternity is long enough that we need not rush to meet it.
They deny the Maker.
And you diminish him, even as you claim his side. Andraste did not volunteer for the flame. Serah Hawke, you act on behalf of the Viscount? The young mother has erred in her judgment. A court will decide her fate. The Chantry respects the law, and so must she.
Grand Cleric? Grand Cleric?
We protect those of the Qun. We do not abandon our own.
Please, send for Viscount Dumas.
My son. Murdered in the heart of the Chantry by those who held a sacred trust. What hope for this city when we fail our own so completely?
The Arishok is still here, Excellency. You must be ready to stand up to him.
I cannot. I have already failed where it mattered most. Please. Hawk. Leave me.
Can I get along?
You do have an opinion on mages, don't you?
Of course I do. I just don't feel a constant need to bring it up. Mages don't worry me. And I don't believe the Templars when they say I should be worried. I'm more likely to be shanked in a bar than eaten by an abomination. You can hear those coming a mile away. Grrr, arg. Oh, is that an abomination coming to eat us? We should get out of here.
Abominations don't go grrr, arg.
They don't? I should rethink the whole thing then.
Simpler. Like everything from eating to fighting.
And then Hawk tore the door clean off its hinges, walked into the room, and... I guess we'll finish this later.
Have you got a minute, Varric?
Of course, Hawk. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you. I hear you and the Rivaini have something going. So, what's going on, Hawk?
Well, 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 I never thought you were the type, Varric. I'm flattered.
Hawk, I know I'm damned near irresistible, but you're just too high maintenance for me. Sorry. Listen, as your friend, I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't say something. Isabella is a great girl, but I think you're likely to get hurt. By which I mean stabbed and left for dead.
In all the time you've known me, have I ever given you the impression that I was turned off by crazy?
Okay, point taken.
Slow day.
You seem very angry.
And here I thought the Chantry was against mind reading.
Did something happen to you in the Circle? I understand there were problems in Ferelden.
Are you saying a mage can only be unhappy in the Circle if demons are involved? No. It's not about Aldred. It's not about being beaten or raped by a Templar. That does happen. But I've been fortunate. It's a larger principle. The freedom every man, woman and child born in Thedas have as a natural right.
You were given to the Circle. I was given to the Chantry. Hawk was driven away from home by the Darkspawn. None of us are free.
Good day, Sirach.
It's a fine suit.
The finest.
Break it down, distribute it.
The Viscount requires parade armor for his inspections.
Then stuff it and mount it where he can see it. I wear the uniform of the Guard.
His Excellency will not be pleased.
His Excellency can mount it. Trouble, Hawk?
You say that like you expect it.
You don't know the half of it. And why don't you, by the way? Why aren't you tail deep in the problems of this city? Sure, you do good, but petition a title, take a job. The Guard is always looking.
That's a bit harsh, given my record.
Maybe I'm just sick of being the first stop for complaints about people like you.
People like me.
Brand's on about fortune hunters, mercenaries, disreputable professions without purpose. He's a clod, but sometimes... well, it might be good if the city was a little more stable.
One gallows is enough, Aveline.
What? No, I didn't mean... I would never take the Guards to those extremes.
It has to start somewhere.
I don't think it's quite that inevitable, but perhaps we'll just have to disagree.
I have something for you.
It's a book.
I see your eyesight is still working fine. The book is by Shartan, the elf who helped Andraste free the slaves. You know about him, right?
Of course I know about him. What do you take me for? I certainly didn't learn from books, though. Do you think they teach slaves to read?
A simple thank you would have sufficed.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me of something I can never do. Ugh. Ignore me. You are not responsible for my deficiencies. I do appreciate your gift. I've always wanted to learn more of Shartan. Perhaps this is my chance.